Degloirespace signing in. A lot of times we say, nobody knows me. Nobody understands me. I want to ask you a question. Is there anybody that you know? Anybody that you understand? What does it mean to know someone? What does it mean to know you? Is it to know about you? Is it to know your nature? What is it exactly? Is it to know how you are inside your mind all the time? Are there people that knew you one day and now they don't know you anymore? What does that tell me about you? If somebody could have known you 10 years ago and they no longer know you now, what does it tell you about you? Does it say that you're changing? Does it say that no one can really know you because you change all the time? And also, certain things about you, you don't know until you've gone through that scene. You don't know how you'll behave there. And then you go there. And then that brings out something in you that you didn't even know. There are people, when you meet them, and they don't have money. They're a certain character, and then they get money. And then they become a different character. Does that mean I never knew them? Or this is the real them? Or is that just the version of them when it has money? Or, for example, you meet somebody when you start work and you're both at the same status, the same level. And then one of you gets a raise. And then they start behaving differently. Is that their true color? Or is that a version of them that they never knew existed? Or when the environment changed, they changed. There's so many different combinations that it's really hard to say. You can't predict anything about anybody like that, because you don't know what the next phase brings of them, what version comes out of them when they've been hurt. And the same thing with you. You don't know that you're capable of something until you've been pushed maybe to it, or until you see it. It's very easy to look at somebody and say, oh, I'd never do that. You don't know. It's very easy to say, oh, I'd never change on my friends. And then it happens. So here the question is, what does it mean to know you? Now we've talked about when different circumstances happen, but then let's talk about when you're in different environments. Who is the real you? Is it you when you're at work, or is it you when you're with family? And what dictates that that's you and that's a fake you? So what I want to try to say here is this. Reality is they're all you, every one of them. It just depends. You cannot be defined by itself. There's no such thing as you just floating in space. You has always got to do with what's going on around you, who's there with you, where you are, what time it is. It has a lot to do with everything. And from that reason, nobody can know you for real. Nobody. And I would even add to that, you can't even know yourself for real. And when I say yourself, I mean your personality. You don't know what is gonna happen with you and what's gonna come out from you. The version I see of me now, when I was 10, I probably wouldn't have liked this version of me, or maybe when I was 20 even. And now when I look back, I've got some journals that I've kept from when I was 18, 19. When I read those journals, I'm a totally different character. I'm not that guy anymore. There are many versions of you, and all of them are you, but they depend on the time, circumstance, what's going on, Now, people know this, and I'll give you an example. When you're with a partner and you're with this person, you're together, you behave in certain ways, you might even say things, you definitely say things in front of your partner that you wouldn't say in front of somebody else, because if somebody else heard you, they'll misunderstand you. You might criticize people in such a way that if somebody else heard you, they might think that you're racist. They might think that you're sexist. You don't know what they'll think about you, but your partner or whoever is understanding. They kind of know a version of you that you're safe to express yourself how you want to. Now, that person could have a recording of you doing something, saying something. They know that that version of you is private. They know that that version of you is the version of you with them. And they decide they want to hurt you. So what do? They release that version of you to somebody else. This is when somebody betrays your trust. I've told you that in person. Why are you telling somebody else? Let's rephrase that. I'm showing you a version of myself, and that version of myself is when I'm with you. But that version of myself is not with them. And here they might say, oh, so this is very common these days. They say to you, oh, but you should have like one version only. Your version should be the same everywhere. That is not true. If you say something to your partner, to your friend in secret, that is not the real you. And that is not the fake you. It's just a version of you that can say things differently. Not all the people you criticize in secret you actually hate. Think about it like this. If you're sitting by yourself and your mind says something, you see a woman walk past. A woman that you like or whatever, but your brain thinks a sexual thought about her. Does that mean that's all you think about this person? Just because in the space in your mind, that's the thought that came out. Does that mean that's all that there is to you? That's the real you? So everything else is fake and just you wanting to be with this woman right now, that's the only truth. See, I think that's very harsh to say that. And it's not true. We're multi-layered. Why do you want to only conclude and summarize me based on one thing? Even your body has multiple systems. Why should you just say, oh, only the sexual thoughts, that's the real you. That's who you are when no one is watching. Actually, that's true. That's the version of you when no one is watching. That's not the real you. It's that version. And the reason why we're speaking about this is because a lot of times we have issues with ourselves. We start feeling like, am I in conflict because I behave differently here than here? The reality is no, you're not in conflict really. You're in conflict in your mind because you have, we learn ethics, we learn different things, and we don't know how to balance it. When we get random violent thoughts, when we get random sexual thoughts, and it doesn't sit well with our ethics, it creates a conflict. You start thinking, am I actually capable of doing that? Now, the more you are in denial of the different versions of you, the more you give them energy. The reason why you give them energy is that, think about it like pressure is building. Every time you're thinking, it's shaking and it's building. That pressure is building. Now, every time that thought comes and you ignore it or you push it away or or you resist or whatever you're doing, you're actually shaking it and building the pressure. Eventually, there's gonna be a pressure that it won't handle anymore. And a person explodes. And that is why we need to sit with ourselves. That is the reason to explore all the versions of us, all of them, the good and the bad, the liked and the disliked, the one that you would show off and the one that you would keep quiet. All of them need to be explored because not all of them come from you. Some of them come from your hormones. Actually, many of them come from your hormones. Some of them come from external factors. If you were to just change your environment, you will probably not get that version of you ever again. And so this is one reason why it's important to sit with ourselves, to see all the masks, all the versions that we have, so that when those versions pop up, that we don't feel like, what just hit me? Who is this? I don't know myself. Other people not knowing you, other people not knowing something about you, that's not so bad. I know one of the biggest things that breaks trust between people is when someone finds out something about you that you've hidden for some reason. You might have hidden it from shame. You might have hidden it from fear. There's many reasons why you might hide something, and then they find something out about you and it breaks their trust. I can understand that. But that shouldn't happen between you and yourself. You must be okay with the many versions of you that are there, so that on your inside you don't have conflict. Degloirespace signing out.